I don't have a clue what's wrong with this board, whether I've worked on it, whether I've looked at it or what. I do know that there's a BIOS missing on it, and that there's liquid metal all over the place. But, other than that, I don't have a freaking clue. Bear in mind this is a donor board. It's been sat in my donor pile for I don't know how long. So, do I know what's wrong with it? No. Do I know where it come from? No. Do I know anything about it other than the fact that it's in my donor pile? No. No, I don't. But we're going to look at it anyway. Just as soon as I clean up all this liquid metal. And install a BIOS on it. Because there's no BIOS on it. Don't know what all of this black stuff is. I'll try and clean it up. But I don't know what it is. Today's video is sponsored by PCBWay. In the month of December, PCBWay are having a huge Christmas sale. With up to 50% off across all their services. With PCB fabrication starting at just $5 for 10 pieces, now's as good a time as ever to start designing your next project. What's more, for a very limited time, you can get up to $435 of coupons and save big. To top it all off, they're also giving away some cool gifts with every order, including the chance to win some amazing prizes, such as a voice-activated robot dog, a logic analyzer, and much, much more. Head over to the PCBWay promotions page by clicking on the link in the video description to learn more. Thanks again to PCBWay for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to the repair. Don't have a clue what this is. What is it? Liquid tape? If it is, it's not from me. Well, either way, that's not come from me because it looks like some sort of tar. Oh, there's a connector missing. Huh. Ah, hello. Someone's started a repair and given up. That's what this is. Underneath here is supposed to be the fan connector. I didn't click onto that then. For a minute. Yeah, the power connector for the fan. That's probably liquid tape then. Someone's tried liquid taping the connector for the fan. By the look of it. This would have been a random board I've bought as as a donor board, most likely. No, I'm making a right mess of my IPA. So yeah, this would have been a board I've bought as a donor board and just looked at it and thought, nope, not worth attempting to fix that. Well, why not? Let's have some fun. So first and foremost, the most important thing to remember here is this is a donor board, so the chances of it being a successful repair are fairly slim. But that, of course, does depend entirely on what is actually wrong with it and what was initially wrong with it. And why was this ever opened up for the fan connector to end up being damaged? Did it turn on? I don't know. There's no BIOS on it, so I don't even know what the original serial number would have been to it. But that's not really an issue, because I can put a new BIOS on it, and if I got this working, this would be converted to a digital board anyway. So, yeah, BIOS isn't really a major concern. So I've cleaned that up as best as I can for now. So, first and foremost, I need to remove two connectors and replace a connector. So I need to solder a connector onto here, and I need to remove these other two connectors. For the simple reason being that, obviously, well, this will be a digital version, and it's not going to fit inside a digital housing with these connectors on. I am going to have to replace the speaker, because I haven't removed it before I've removed these connectors. So that'll be melted underneath, but that's fine. I would rather replace the speaker. I mean, I've never had anyone come to me and say I need a speaker for a PS5. Whereas I have had people come to me and say I need a disk drive connector, or I need a disk drive power connector. So I'd rather salvage these by removing these from underneath than save the speaker. So there's that one. And we've got one just here. There we go. So I can save those connectors, but then like I said, unfortunately, the speaker's now melted. So I'll desolder this. There we go. Just clean that up under there. There's actually liquid metal, a little bit of liquid metal spilt under there anyway, I think. Or is that a scratch? It could be a scratch. Damn, that's hot. No, I think it was liquid metal. Right, that's cleaning off. It's not really a major issue. Replace the solder. And then I'm going to desolder a speaker from another board. Okay, just lift that side off. Same for that side, just desolder that. That'll do. Cool. Good stuff. How do you keep the plastic from melting on the connectors? You can't, well, you'd have to desolder it before you remove those connectors. Because to remove them safely, you've got to remove them from underneath the board. The way I've just desoldered that speaker there, what I should have done really is done that before I desoldered the connectors. And then I could have desoldered the connectors from underneath without knocking them or anything. But I didn't do that, so I've had to replace the speaker, but that's fine. Right, there was a little bit of flux on the top of the pads, but I'm going to add a tiny bit. I don't want much because I don't want the flux to end up getting inside the speaker because it will affect it. So I'll just literally a minuscule amount of flux and then just reflow it. And then I'm not going to clean it with IPA because, again, I don't want to affect the speaker. Literally just a minuscule amount of flux just to reflow those connectors. And then I'm not going to clean that at all. I'm just going to leave it. The flux is not going to hurt the board. Now I need a BIOS. More to the point, I need a working BIOS. I should have somewhere here some pre-programmed BIOS chips. The EDM 010 1016A digital. Got some pre-programmed BIOS chips, so I don't even need to program one today. It'll save me a whopping 2 minutes of time. Just need to get the one that's got a damaged pin. There you go. Cool. So yeah, in order to even get this to boot up, turn on, like even attempt to turn on, we need a working BIOS on there. So I've got pre-programmed BIOSes. I actually sell these on the store for, well, multiple different revisions, like any revision you need, or I can program custom BIOSes as well. Says which has been reflowed, mate. Yes, I did just notice that. It also looks like it's slightly misaligned. It looks slightly slanted, so we could have a no power issue on this. There we go. We're going to work in BIOS on. The point is replacing the fan connector until we know it's working. What's the point in doing a bunch of trace repair if we don't know whether it's working or not? Right. So, I'm going to check a boot sequence and see what happens when I apply 12 volts to it. First of all, just make sure we don't have a short on 12 volt, and we don't. So, now that I know we don't have a short on 12 volt, I can give it 12 volts. That's connected. What's my boot sequence saying? We get 308 milliamps and then drops down to 8. That is going to attempt to turn on. Ooh, it turns on. Do. And it displays. Nice. Oh, and it goes to a white light. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. It's nice to meet you. It's cozy. Do 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 do. Oi! Beep beep beep. Boom. Boom 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 boom. I want you in my room. It's funny how much better electronics work with the BIOS. It is, isn't it? Yeah, you're quite right there, sir. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna working board. I'm gonna working board. Na 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 na. We've got COD Modern Warfare 2, Crash Bandicoot, Fortnite, Mineshaft, Small Guys, Pocket League, Skid Legends, and Grand Theft Auto, and PUBG. No FIFA 4. Well, it don't look like. Oh, he's got the FIFA virus. Oh, why did I check? You bastard. Alright, anyway, that appears to be working. Nothing appears wrong with that. Obviously, I can't test Wi-Fi at the minute because it's not inside a housing or anything, but... well, I can just plug in an antenna, but I may as well try and fix this fan first and then plug it into a complete housing. I say try, we will fix the fan. It's not that difficult. So, on the fan connector, we've got 3 traces which we need to connect. We've got a ground pad which is in the middle. We've got the signal line, which is the feedback line on here. And then we've got the main power rail there for the fan. I want to grind away so I can fix this fan. But I don't know where my flux is. Also need an anchor point for the ground pads. Sorry, ground pad for the anchor point. So I'll just expose all of that. He's got Madden on his personal PS5. This singing, you love my singing. I'm like a tech, I wanna fix away, but I don't know where my flux is, cause flux is like PCBGs. Anyway, Phil's new game is Lego Fortnite. Stupid motherfucker. Alright. Jumper wire time it is. Well, and the one that Travis's mom used to clean her teeth. Let's give myself some new anchor points. I think that black tile was probably liquid tape. To be honest, I think someone's tried to glue a connector onto it. Which is rather funny, to be honest. I can't believe this board works. All that's bloody wrong with it is this connector by the look of it, and a missing BIOS. To be honest, it could have been me that stole the BIOS off it. Like, I could have nicked that BIOS off it just to use for another console if I had, like, if I'd run out of chips or something to reprogram a new BIOS. I don't know how long I've had this board. It's running on 7.2. Does anyone know when 7.2 was released? Who is this Travis I keep hearing about? Oh, he's he doesn't really come on anymore, but he was a good friend and a viewer. Well, viewer turned friend. Like he used to have a laugh and say that I used to shag his mom and he was shagging my missus and stuff like that. It was just all in light-hearted fun, but he doesn't come on anymore for some reason. I think he's forgot about me. I might message him actually and see what's up at some point. Right, so there's some new anchor points for the connector to hold on to. So rather than just, soldering the wires on and hot gluing it, I'd rather create some anchor points, and it'll be stronger than it ever was with those anchor points. Truthfully, it will be stronger than it ever was. So now I need to just expose some of this enamel wire and get rid of the coating off it to make it conductive. There's an enamel coating on this jumper wire which stops it from conducting, so you can run jumper wires across the board and stuff. Obviously, to solder onto the board we need the enamel to be removed, so I'll just run the iron over it and that gets rid of it. You could scrape it away as well, but honestly it's easier just to run the iron over. So now I just need to run 3 jumper wires to these pins. Or to the end points of the pins, should I say. Difficult to get to this jumper wire now. So this enamel wire I literally took from a faulty microwave about 2.5, 3 years ago. And it's unbelievable how little I've used in that time compared to what's on the actual reel. Now, I've got enough to last me 20 years there, I guarantee, just on that one reel. It's ridiculous. Because you don't use much. You might look like you do, but you don't. Give it a quick clean. That PWM jumper wire is not actually soldered. Damn it, my freaking nozzle just come off. Where's my other tweezers gone? There they are. I need my decent tweezers. I'll drop my airflow right down. No, I'm going to have to resolder that one, unfortunately. It's a bit annoying. Okay, now it's soldered. Oh, it should be. There we go. And then I'll get my UV light. Right, I'll leave that to cure for a minute on the UV. Right, that's solid enough for that. Good. Now I need a 3-pin fan connector. I've got one here, but there's a stupid frigging piece of solder braid stuck to it. So I'm going to get rid of that. This is one that I pulled off a board, off a donor board, and this is why these come in handy. There we go. So that's that. I've got that in place, ish. It's not in place yet, but it will be. Just add a bit of flux. And before I solder the jumper wires, I'll just anchor it down. So this is why I put these pieces of solder braid here, so as I can solder them to these ground anchors, just to keep it in place. You can already see that that's got a fair bit of strength. Obviously nowhere near what it needs to be, but even just with one side, the amount of strength on it is quite amazing. There we go. Right, I'll just flood that with some solder. And there we go. So there's one. Flood that side. And there's another. There we go. So that's just sat fairly nicely there. Actually, it is a little bit too far forward. I could do with moving that a little bit, so I'm just gonna have to edge it up slowly, unfortunately. If I was to use hot air on this, then the anchor points are going to move away. It is very slightly out of line. Not by much, but enough to the point where it could cause an issue when it goes to putting it in the case. Yo, yo, yo. Thank you, Pat Dog. I appreciate you, mate. A whole year, eh? Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. There we go. Right, so that's sitting in a nice position now. So if I just flood these pins with a bit of solder, like that, it should catch the wire. The key word there is should, but it should catch the wire and solder the wire to the pin. But the reason I left those wires a little bit long is so I can go like this, look. Just grab the wire with the tweezers, and if the pin moves, then I know it's soldered to the pin. Cool. Good. And then I can trim them away. There we go. Gorgeous. Right, while I've got IPR on the board, there's a little bit of that liquid tape inside this antenna. Just make sure that gets cleared out. Cool. Well, I'm assuming I'm going to call it liquid tape. I'm assuming it's liquid tape. I'll just make sure that gets cleared out just so as I can ensure that the antennas are going to connect. Yeah, that's not the cleanest of jobs, but it will do the job. That's the point. Final test will be in diode mode to just make sure that we've actually got a diode reading on all these pins. So it's going to beep. We get a 0.47 reading there. We get dead short to ground there. And we get 0.35, 0.4, 0.44 on that one. Good. Okay, that's reading fine. That fan should be working. Should be working. There we go, look. Beautiful. Fan's working. Fantastic. Yes, I'm that sad. Alright, I went there. I said it. Alright. Fan bloody tastic. Right, wireless controller's working. So I'm just going to run through a quick test now. So I'm going to need to obviously test, make sure it connects to the internet and stuff, make sure it takes an update. The fan's working, so that's fine. So network, set up internet, picks up my Wi-Fi. So this will want an update before it'll allow me to connect to PSN. We're going to update the software. It's on 7.2. It's not any special firmware or anything, so it's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure it's obviously updating because we haven't got the disk drive to this, so I've had to convert it to digital. So we have to make sure it takes an update no matter what. And the fact that, you know, I'm going to be selling this as a working board, you know, I might chuck it into a console. I don't know. You know, I'll throw it into a console and I'll be able to sell it pretty quickly. I've got quite a few digital edition PS5 boxes. This time of year, I'll be able to sell it fairly quick. So what I'll do with this, because this has been sat in my donor pile for potentially 6 months, you know, being picked up, chucked around, you know, it's been moved around quite a bit. I'll leave this board running overnight, and I'll just leave it basically on a game dashboard like GTA or something like that, and I'll just see if it's still powered on in the morning, basically. It's accepted an update, that's a good thing. Right, that's accepted an update. Console info, 8.4. Boom. There we go. So let's just have a look. Screen and video output signal 4K. Yep, that's working. So it works in 4K. It takes an update. Right, that's done at factory reset. Right, it's not banned. Right, so games library, my collection. Download a couple of games from my library, and I'll leave those running. But it's not banned, so yeah, that's a good thing. Oh look, FIFA. Yeah, good stuff. Happy days. Yeah, I'll take that. That's a win. Fans working. It's updating. It's not banned. Network's all working. Everything's fine. Cool. Good stuff. Happy days. I'll take that all day long. Thank you. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take it easy. Take care. Have a good night's sleep. Alexa, turn off the office.